Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's Atlantic Basin Tropical Update. So we are likely going to see our next tropical storm develop in the next 48 to 72 hours in the northwestern Caribbean Sea or southeastern Gulf of Mexico. Taking a look at the latest tropical development chances, we have a 50% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 2 days, an 80% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 7 days, with an overall high chance of formation now. Taking a look at our forecast discussion, northwestern Caribbean Sea and Gulf of Mexico, Invest 97L. Disorganized showers and thunderstorms located over the northwestern Caribbean Sea and portions of Central America are associated with a broad area of low pressure. Environmental conditions appear conducive for development of this disturbance, and a tropical depression or tropical storm is likely to form during the next few days while the system moves northward across the northwestern Caribbean Sea and into the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. Regardless of development, this system is expected to produce heavy rains over portions of Central America during the next several days. Interests in the northwestern Caribbean Sea, the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, and western Cuba should closely monitor progress of this feature. Later this week, the system is forecast to move generally northward across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and interests along the northern and northeastern Gulf Coast should also monitor the progress of the system. Formation chance for 48 hours is medium at 50%, and formation chance through 7 days is now high at 80%. And our system is starting to really get itself together just to the southeast of the area of interest, with a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity developing on the eastern side of the Central American Gyre. And this is going to just move to the northwest over the next 24 to 48 hours into our area of interest and likely become a tropical storm Helene. Taking a look at the 18Z run of the GFS model for the latest guidance on likely tropical storm Helene, looking at some concerning trends in the GFS model, we see a tropical storm developing as soon as Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, between the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba, maybe even a Category 1 hurricane at this point. And then we see rapid intensification in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico as we go into Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, September the 26th. The latest GFS run is showing a Category 3 hurricane rapidly intensifying just northwest of Cuba. And then as we go into a Thursday afternoon, we see a very powerful, potentially Category 4 hurricane about to make landfall in the Big Bend of Florida just south of Tallahassee. So a very concerning run of the GFS model here, looking at a potentially near Category 5 hurricane making landfall almost directly where Michael made landfall in 2018, about 6 years ago. So make sure you're really, I would be really paying close attention to the forecast to this system if you live across the Florida. All of Florida, Alabama, Georgia, even as far west as Mississippi and southeastern Louisiana. And then the GFS model plows a major hurricane into southeastern, even central Georgia into Thursday night. We could be seeing a hurricane over Atlanta, Georgia, a Category 2 hurricane over Atlanta, Georgia, as we go into Thursday night and Friday morning, September the 27th, if the GFS model verifies, and then we see the system weaken and fall apart, producing a lot of heavy rain across the mid-Atlantic and Tennessee Valley into Friday and Saturday. So concerning GFS model run this evening with likely future tropical storm Helene, taking a look at the latest European model run, the 12Z run, see a tropical storm develop just east of the Yucatan Peninsula as we go into Wednesday, September the 25th. And then the European model is also a lot slower to intensify the system, but we see a Category 1 or 2 hurricane just south of the Florida Panhandle as we go into Thursday, September the 26th. And then we see a rapid intensification just before landfall into a Category 2 hurricane in almost the same exact spot as the GFS model makes landfall, just south of Tallahassee. This time, Thursday evening, September the 27th. And then the European model brings a lot of heavy rain across Georgia, the Carolinas, eastern Tennessee, Kentucky, as we go into Friday and Saturday. And the European model shows a tropical storm over Atlanta, Georgia as well, as we go into Friday, September the 27th. And taking a look at our Canadian model, the 12Z run, Canadian develops a tropical storm as we go into Wednesday, September the 25th, northwest of the Yucatan Peninsula, or northeast of the Yucatan Peninsula, northwest of Cuba. And then we see the Canadian with a much weaker solution nearing the Florida coastline as a Category 1 hurricane as we go into Thursday, September the 26th. And then we see a landfall also Thursday afternoon, once again in the same area as the European and GFS model, just southeast of Panama City Beach and directly over Tallahassee as we go into Thursday, September the 26th in the afternoon. And then the Canadian model moves a tropical storm over Atlanta, Georgia again as we go into Thursday night and Friday morning, bringing a lot of heavy rain to the Tennessee Valley, the Carolinas, and even as far west as Arkansas and Missouri as we go into Friday and Saturday. So, latest model trends. All the models are agreeing on a landfall somewhere in the Florida Panhandle, Thursday afternoon or evening. The models are still disagreeing on the intensity of the system. However, given the warm sea surface temperatures off of the Florida Panhandle coast, I do believe that rapid intensification is going to be possible as we go into Wednesday and Thursday as this tropical storm Helene or Hurricane Helene, makes landfall Thursday evening in the Florida Panhandle and then brings a lot of impacts to the southeast. So thanks for watching this evening's update on our system, Invest 97L. If you live anywhere from, I would say New Orleans down through the Florida Keys, but especially Tampa, make sure you're really paying close attention to the system over the next few days. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe and have a wonderful evening, my friends.